You know, we're often taught to fear being alone, that it's some kind of problem that needs to be solved. But what if that's a complete misunderstanding? Today, we're going to explore the hidden power of solitude, and we'll be doing it through the eyes of the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer.
So let's just start with a question that seems really simple, but it's not. Is being alone the same thing as being lonely? I mean, our culture uses these words interchangeably all the time, but should they? Getting this distinction right is the key to unlocking a totally different way of thinking.
Think about it. From a pretty young age, we kind of learn that being alone is a form of social failure. It's something to avoid, a sign that something is just off. So what do? We fill our lives with noise, with people, and with endless distractions. Anything to avoid a quiet moment with just ourselves. And to be fair, this fear makes a lot of sense when we mix up being alone with being lonely. Loneliness is genuinely painful. It's that awful feeling of being cut off, of wanting connection but just not having it. It's not a choice, it's a state of suffering.
But this is where philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer comes in with a pretty radical alternative. He argued that being alone isn't some kind of punishment. Actually, it's a powerful opportunity, and his perspective might just completely change the way you see your own company.
So, this is where that distinction becomes absolutely crucial. Loneliness is all about suffering and forced isolation. Solitude, on the other hand, is a chosen path. It's not about lacking connection with other people, but about discovering the richness you have within yourself. Schopenhauer called solitude a sacred space for intellectual and spiritual freedom. Just think about that phrase for a second. It totally reframes solitude, not as some empty room to be afraid of, but as a wide-open field where your mind can roam, totally free from the judgments and expectations of the world.
Okay, so what does this freedom actually let you do? Well, this is where the real work begins. It's about stripping away all the illusions society feeds us, the things we're told we should want. By getting away from all the superficial distractions, we can finally achieve the mental clarity we need to build real self-sufficiency, where our happiness doesn't depend on what other people think.
And this brings us to a really key idea, seeing solitude as a path to true wisdom. For Schopenhauer, this isn't about escaping the world. No, it's about actively cultivating and growing the self. So, the crucial thing here is that this is a journey with some pretty clear steps. First, you have to choose it. It has to be deliberate. Then, you use that quiet time to question all the things you've just been told to value. This lets you really engage with your own thoughts and eventually arrive at a genuine understanding of who you are, your true authenticity. Now, here comes the big twist. You might think this whole process leads to becoming some kind of hermit who hates people, but Schopenhauer argues the exact opposite is true. The surprising, almost paradoxical result of all this deep inner work is that it actually helps you create more genuine, meaningful connections with other people. How is that even possible? Well, it's simpler than it sounds. When you truly know yourself, you stop needing validation from other people. You start to connect with them from a place of strength and authenticity, not a place of neediness. And those connections, they become so much deeper because they're built on the solid foundation of your own self-worth. So we want to leave you with this one final thought. In our modern world, which is just filled with constant noise, notifications, and demands for our attention, this idea is more relevant than ever before. This question isn't just for philosophers, it's for all of us. So ask yourself, in a world of constant noise, where is your sacred space? And what wisdom might be waiting there for you?